Hi, I'm Mark Caesar with Sgt Sam Cox. Welcome to the podcast. Ed's off today. It's his birthday, February 13th.
Yeah, he made another year. That's amazing, isn't it? Without me throttling him, but that's okay. He deserves it.
He deserves it. He's entitled to it. The House and Senate both will vote today on the stimulus package. And as of 10:10 on February 13th, it's 1,071 pages. $978 billion. It's just over $1 trillion when you count the interest. Who's the big winner and who's the big loser in all of this?
The big loser is the U.S. taxpayer, because this is way too much money. And the only way a bill like this ever gets passed is if it's a crisis, an emergency. You got to do it today, because given a couple of weeks to look over this bill, you would find there is going to be things they'll be finding 2-3 weeks from now that's stuffed in there that's just totally inappropriate. It's wasteful spending. It doesn't go to the right places. They could have gotten money into the hands of people who would spend it instantly by giving a tax cut, a rebate, so to speak, instantly through your payroll deductions. They didn't do all of that. They want control over your life. And the big loser is going to be the taxpayer. The winner is going to be the Democratic Party, because what they're doing is buying votes and using that money to bolster their party, and it's sickening.
Well, the president has changed his approach this week. He's become much more aggressive. He had the town hall meetings. He had the news conference in prime time Monday night. And the polls show that it seems to be working. Public support of this package has gone up about 5 points since he started this charm offensive.
I wonder if that 5 points is from Republicans or from people that's already in his camp.
It's a little of both. Hardcore Democrats have increased their support, and some Republicans have started supporting it, according to the Gallup poll.
Well, polls are polls, and I'll tell you what, any Republican worth his salt voting for this bill, shame on them. And there should be a time of payback. And I'm dead serious about this, because this bill is going to spend $1 trillion, and we're still going to have a lot of economic downturn. And they're going to say, well, we didn't spend enough soon enough, that's why it failed. No, this is a bunch of bull.
Well, the president, though, is saying we are going to have a catastrophe. We may never recover if we don't do this immediately.
Well, you look at how much money we're on the hook for in the trillions of dollars, not this trillion, but that trillion, that trillion. We're on the hook for over $9 trillion totally of what we've guaranteed. We will never, I promise you, in our lifetime, our children's lifetime, and our great-grandchildren's lifetime, get over $9 trillion worth of debt.
I think you're right on that one.
I mean, come on.
Yeah,
that's something you're not going to get over.
Yes.
No.
But the political subtext to this is that the president feels as though he's been burned by the Republicans. He came in a spirit of bipartisanship, said, I'm going to appoint Republicans to my cabinet. I'm going to reach out to the Republicans in the House and Senate and get them to vote for this stimulus package. And he says, look, they're not supporting me. Only 3 Republicans total in Washington are voting for this thing. To heck with bipartisanship from now on.
Well, his idea of bipartisanship is, here's my bill, this is what we want, you vote for it. What's that? Oh yeah, they changed it. They cut a little bit out of it, a few billion here and a few billion there.
But you heard him Monday night, he said, why should I listen to those people? Their record of the last 8 years is why we're in this mess today.
That is the biggest travesty of all. Let me say, Barney Frank and crew, how many times do I have to repeat the idea that it's not just a Republican, it's not just Bush. You didn't inherit it, you helped in your party create it. Look at your voting record while you were in the Senate, Obama.
All right, also in the news today, an Arizona ranch owner may find out if he is a winner or a huge loser. He's being sued by 16 illegal aliens that he caught on his ranch and detained for the Border Patrol to arrest. The 16 illegal aliens are suing him in U.S. federal court for violating their civil rights on his own ranch. They say he violated their civil rights because he held them at gunpoint. He had his dog there and said, if you try to run, my dog will bite you. And he used some bad words. He cussed while he was holding them. And they stand, if they win, to claim $32 million from this rancher.
I'll tell you, this could be the biggest travesty if they win and they collect and he has to sell his ranch to pay the debt. This could be just a wide open gate. When does a property owner have the right to defend his property against trespassing? The photographs of his property are knee-deep in trash through this gulch that they use. He is detaining people that are illegal. It's been found out that one of them was arrested here in the U.S. on drug charges, deported to Mexico, and now is coming back. He is a felon. He is committing.
And he's one of the 16 who's suing in federal court. Yes.
He has committed, it's not civil now that he's come back the second time after being deported. It's a criminal offense. And yet he has the unmitigated gall to sue the landowner from stopping him from an illegal activity.
Yeah. We've got the text of the full story posted under Marquette and Sgt Sam right here on the website. One other one for you that bears watching. This is out of Colorado, where a 17-year-old high school student who is an honor student and captain of the Young Marines drill team will find out today how long she will be expelled from school. Under Colorado law, any kid that brings a gun or what they say reasonably looks like a gun to school shall be expelled for at least 1 day up to 1 year.
No.
She, being a member of this Young Marines drill team, brought 3 wooden guns to school in the back of her car. And she was in school. During the school day, kids who were cutting class, walking through the parking lot to go smoke dope, looked in her car and saw the guns and turned her in. And now she is going to be expelled for violating the zero tolerance policy on guns.
You know, as we heard today and had looked into this case, zero tolerance is a lazy way out, because you don't have to make any decisions. You don't have to bring common sense into it. And these dope smokers that were cutting class, they got a reward for illegal bad behavior.
They got certificates for turning her in. They got Chick-fil-A certificates. I'm not making that up. They're going to get Chick-fil-A as a reward for turning in this girl.
And yet she's an honor student, working her tail off. She is the drill team leader. They use these wooden guns in their marching and in their cadence, and she merely had it in open view in the back seat, and these little dope heads turned her in, and she's the one in trouble?
Yes.
That's the tail wagging the dog, baby.
All right, we'll post that one as well under Marquette and Sgt Sam right here on the website. Join us on the radio every weekday morning. Mark, Sgt Sam, and Ed Clements, 5:30 to 10 on KLBJ.